It has been a busy week or so with all kinds of things going on. All over the country, the Detroit Auto Show has happened. CES, the Consumer Electronics Show, has happened. Blue Origin got their New Glenn rocket off the ground and into orbit. SpaceX got their Starship Test 7 off the ground, caught the booster, etc. We're going to discuss today two of the most exciting things from that list, and they're not the most exciting because, that's a higher budget. We're going to talk about the cars from Detroit and CES. I'm joined by Mark from the Tesla Life. We're going to have some fun looking at some weird, wild, and fun vehicles and not talking about any disappointments with not landing a booster or not reaching orbit separately. Put them both together, who knows? You've either got a fantastic ship or an absolute catastrophe. I'm Brian. Welcome to Futuraza. That was a nice, brief intro, wasn't it? Whew. Almost had to take a breath.
Well,
Yeah. I get asked from time to time, wow, how long does it take you to write those? What?
they write themselves, my friends.
They write themselves. You wind me up and away I go. But more like the Energizer Bunny, because, all things electric. The wildest vehicles we saw at CES. So I didn't go to CES this year. It's expensive and difficult, and I was hoping to find a sponsor who would like to have me there. But unfortunately, it was not to be. And then I tried to go to Starship, and that was not to be. Good thing, too, because I would have missed the launch and catch. Let's look at some weird and crazy vehicles. What do you think of that?
Not bad. I wouldn't call that crazy. That looks pretty good.
No, I like it. The Honda Zero SUV and Zero Saloon concept. They're not going to build one that looks quite this radical, I suspect.
That is an impressive back on that car. I don't think I've seen anything quite like that.
And then, of course, you've got this.
Wow. That's the Lamborghini station wagon, right? That's what that is.
Well, you remember in Wayne's World, they did make a limo out of their AMC Pacer,
Yes.
Gremlin. This is honestly though, this is a reimagining of their 1987 vehicle that they've got, their concept that they've been showing off for a lifetime. Okay, more realistic Zeekr 001 FR. Zeekr, man, they're making some big moves. They're producing in volume. This is I think a great looking car.
It is. Yep. That hits all the buttons there for sure.
What do you think of the interior?
I don't think I'd go with the red, but the interior looks good.
Yes. I also would not require quite this much flash for my vehicle, but I get it. Zeekr Mix. This is the one that Waymo is purchasing to use as their RoboCab.
So many automakers, not just electric, have pushed to have these turnable seats that the front will face the back, giving you this lounge look. And I've seen it in some campers, like when you get to an RV, but in a car, it just looks kind of silly to me.
Well, I think it's great if it's going to be driverless, fantastic. Yes. And these seats do look real comfy. Great. Do something new. The difference is the Zeekr Mix is a real product that's really for sale. Zeekr Grand. Okay. I mean, if you can sell the Cadillac Escaladic, then why not?
That's what this is. Yep.
It really is. By the way, did you see the specs for the Cadillac Escalade IQ?
Very impressive in size.
460 miles of range. I asked my kids, because I like to keep them science-minded, how do you accomplish that? And they said, oh no. Is the battery gigantic? I said, well, three Model Ys of battery, yes. And they said, how much does it weigh? I said, 2 Model Ys. Oh, that's too. I go, it's a little over that. It's a brute force solution to a problem, but it is a solution to a problem.
Yep.
So we've got 3 of these articles. Afila 1.
They should really think about changing the name, but
no. By the way, ridiculous. This is Sony Honda Mobility. I expect a name like that from Nobody's, But from Sony Honda, hey, I heard you bought the new Grope one. Come on.
I've got the name for them.
I'm ready.
Sonda.
Coney. We'll call it Coney 2012. So yeah, this was on display. This abomination.
The duckbill postal van. Exactly.
Not only does it have its serial number, but its value posted right there. Isn't that the launch codes? Fun fact,
man.
For I think 20 or 30 years, that was the launch code.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
This is a concept, but this is coming.
Ah, yes. So this is farm equipment, right? This is
yes, sir.
This is a harvester of sorts.
Yeah. Japanese agricultural machinery makers Kubota were on hand with a series of autonomous workhorse concepts. Fantastic. Koenigsegg, great. This is the...
There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
Definitely going to be the car of the future. And there's the other part of it. Fantastic.
Yep. The drone that can take two people for a spin.
Yes. Scout Traveler. Mm-hmm. That's happening. That is happening.
That will sell.
The Zoox Mobile, which I saw there last year, and they let you, at least last year, they would have, you could get in line and you could go inside and check it out. I was having memory card issues, so I did not get great footage, but I did get footage. What's this? Ital Design Quintessenza.
It's kind of got a Baja feel to that. Like
it sure does.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that's the name of the game is have some fun. Jeep Wagoneer S. So Yahoo's list is a little less ambitious. We've got 16 must-see vehicles at the Detroit Auto Show, but the Detroit Auto Show is going to be less ambitious than the Consumer Electronics Show. Wagoneer S. Would you call that a must-see?
No.
Daytona Charger. This is electric.
I like the look of that. That's again, this is Stellantis' first run at a muscle electric car. And hopefully it comes out and hopefully can make a bit of a splash.
Yeah, I can see someone saying, I despise the design, but I don't see many saying, I don't get it. It's a retro design. It'll do fine. Chrysler Halcyon. Are they going to build it?
Not a chance.
Not a chance.
That's why it's a must-see, Brian, because it's never going to be seen outside those doors.
This is your last chance, my friend. Of course, we got VisDick. Cadillac wants you to look at VisDick, which is
just a bad name.
You think? VisDick is blue and bulky.
Oh man,
I do not wish to have VisDick in my life. So the Ford Mustang. The Ford Mustang RTR. Guys, do you know why you're here? Because you put camo on it and then you put it on display.
Maybe they're hoping no one would notice it. That's why they have all the camo on it.
Ridiculous. Okay, we've got one more here. Weird and wonderful cars we saw at the Detroit Auto Show. There's 100 in the slideshow. We're not doing that. Look at that. The Cadillac Opulent Velocity.
Oh my gosh.
I want something that says luxurious and fast. Opulent Velocity. Did you get that from Thesaurus? I did.
And we made a car to match it.
And then we worked backwards from the name. Oh boy, you thought, hey, I love it. You're doing something different. This looks better than a lot of the cars that they actually make. The Celestiq, the Lyric, not super jazzed about those. And we're not going into the specs on these cars because they're not real.
There are no specs.
I love how, is that a real tire or did you just like apply a coat of rubber? Because
to a rim. Yeah.
To a rim. It looks beautiful. And also you got this much travel before you're rubbing fender. I don't know how you got it in and out of the room, to be honest.
Forklift.
Maybe. Yeah, F-150 race concept. This one, I believe, has been demonstrated. And
Well,
great.
there is a couple. Isn't there a NASCAR version of trucks? I believe there are. I believe there is a NASCAR circuit where they run pickup trucks.
King of the Mountain, after its victory at 102nd Pikes Peak. That's what they did. Fantastic. Yeah. Camper van, a helicopter.
Yeah.
Okay. And of course, what's a show without the truckster?
The family truckster.
Isn't that what they called it? Yeah. Yeah, the truckster. And then we've got, of course, the Robin. The Reliant Robin.
That would be a single wheel up front.
Yeah, one in the front and two in the back. There are clubs in the UK that still get together on weekends and celebrate their Reliant Robins, just like there are for a lot of antique brands. But what a great concept that was all around. And then, of course, you've got, your luxury row here, which is also fun. Oh, this one has a little flip up at the top, too, to make getting in even easier. I didn't realize.
And eliminate the pillar between the front and the back seats by having the dual doors. Again, popular with concept vehicles, not popular with making vehicles.
Very, very rare in production. The Zeekr Mix that we showed a little bit ago, the minivan, is the only production car I've seen without a B pillar in a very long time. Concepts all day. And what Zeekr did is it just made the roof that much stronger. You can do that. Wildcat, because that's what you need, is a Buick. I
saw the Wildcat in person.
What'd you think?
Looks impressive. It looks impressive, but again, it's an expensive build, or would be if it ever was built.
And I'm sorry, it's too cool. They're not going to build something that attractive. They never do. Would it kill you to build one? Would it kill you to actually make a car that's as cool as you know it could be? The Cadillac Project GTP hypercar.
Okay, why even bother, really?
If you're going to build it and make it so that it actually can be tracked, then it can be a platform for demonstration. But this is just art. It's beautiful art. And for some reason, they call this the GTP hypercar. Why no Vistic or Celestic or Lyric for this? I don't know. Okay, all great. And then we've got a slightly larger frunk on the Cadillac Escalade IQ. That is very small for how big this is.
It looks very plush in there.
It's got 3-inch shag. Yeah, some fun was had. That's another angle of the Chrysler Halcyon, I guess. It's great. Build some. So as we do each week, we answer questions, you guys. I don't know if you know that. I don't know if you figured that out. And it's not just to fill time. We could easily end this video right here, but we're not doing that. To the dismay of many. This video we were talking about, what were we even talking about? EVs are still crushing gas cars. Hey, I'll like it. Join us in liking it, won't you? And I know the answer. Don't break my heart. Just pretend you will. Oh, I gotta load up the comments. At 1650, isn't the car audio making the sound? Remember we were talking about how, well, if the car's listening for a siren and some jerkwad plays it in their radio ad, he's saying, if you make a siren sound yourself, do you confuse yourself? What do you think? If the radio...
I have had situations where there's been a siren sound in the song I'm listening to, and I'm not familiar with the song. I'm looking for the ambulance. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you can fool yourself.
But what he's saying is, if the car plays it, can it also fool the car, or will the car know, no, that was me?
I think the car's playing from another system. So
that's my guess too.
Yeah,
that's my guess. I said, I don't imagine. I don't imagine I meant to say that, yeah, I don't imagine that they're, anyway, I goofed it, but the systems are separate is what I meant. And I love it. Yeah. Brian's comment on the front of a Model 3 or Y with a hatchback is something I've wanted for a while. It seems to sell really well in Europe where the Golf ruled. You tricked me into reading your comment by putting in not one, but two question marks. It just occurred to me, what we need to call this section of the show?
What's that?
Question mark.
Oh my gosh. It was always there, right in front of us.
Right in front of us. My dear friends, my viewers, I am so sorry that I have let you down in this way. Model 3 or Y hatchback, what do you think? Would you see it selling?
Yes, it would. But I think for that hatchback, I think you're going to want it a little bit smaller too. Like, I think it's going to be more affordable. I think where Tesla was heading with a hatchback made a lot of sense. It was going to fill a new market. And I think that's really, I wouldn't want them to just change from a regular Model Y to a Model Y with a hatchback. I would want them to make more of a change, make it smaller, make it cheaper.
Do you remember the days when you could get a hatchback and a sedan that was the same car? Like the 84 Honda Accord hatchback and sedan. Yeah. It is the same car from the shoulders, from the B-pillar forward, and a different car from their back. If Tesla made something like this, I could see it selling.
But could you see it being worth their while selling?
That's the hard part.
Yeah.
That is the hard part, especially if it means you're going to be spending all that money on development and then making less money and selling fewer of the more profitable ones. It is a balancing act. I do not know the answer. Where I am in Ontario, I see more Mach-E's. I wonder if Mark finds the same in Kitchener.
Absolutely. I see a lot of Mach-E's around. It's more than what I hear reported in U.S. cities. So it seems the Mach-E is definitely a popular car up here.
And I would say that the Mach-E it's easier to spot than some EVs. Some don't always look like EVs, but I see them constantly. And of course, I don't know if we should even share this, but who knew? Remember Keeping Up with the Who's?
I'm glad that some people are picking up on this stuff.
What are we doing? Not in sales, but in growth. Isn't that the true statement?
Yes.
Sure.
Growth is where you want to be. Absolutely.
Is that what we were talking about? I don't remember what we were talking about. Mr. Ed, a local viewer and buddy, question. Brian's convinced me that drive-by-wire and 48 will not go beyond the Cybertruck this year. If Brian, as a certified time traveler, can release this information, will it be on another Tesla vehicle, 26, 7, or 8? And by the way, I am not certified. I am not a certified time traveler. Time traveler, no comment. Certified, no, I'm not. I'm not that.
If Brian is a time traveler, just deliver me lotto numbers from the next couple weeks.
People think that's how it works. It isn't. Have you ever, all of my time travel comes in the form of dreams. And have you ever tried to read in a dream?
Yeah, it doesn't
work.
Tough.
This morning, I was laying in bed, getting ready to get up just before my alarm. I was like, my alarm's going off in like 10 minutes. I'm just going to sit here on my phone and do whatever. And then my alarm went off and I realized looking at my phone that I'm still dreaming. Well, I thought the beauty is not only was I not awake, but I was also not getting anything done because you can't retain what you read on your phone when you're asleep. Will it come to other Tesla vehicles in 26, 7, 8? And any chance others may adopt 48 volt or drive-by-wire? So drive-by-wire, I think, would come later. 48 volt, as soon as the supply chain is ready, I think we'll see manufacturers eager to switch over because of the cost savings. But what do you think on that?
I wonder if they will be eager because they've known that these cost savings exist. Yes, you have to push industry to start making the product in order to put them in the car. And it's kind of like a chicken and egg statement. What comes first? Tesla has decided we're doing this. We're forcing suppliers to come up with 48. We're going to give them money for their product, and hopefully others will follow. But it is a question, will they follow? And I'm not really sure.
There were a lot of things that Tesla's done that we were just sure others would copy immediately. Well, when in the early 2000s, when Ichiro Suzuki was on his hottest streak, he had an unusual routine to get ready to bat. And I said, boy, with how hot he's batting, watch all the rookies come up doing the same routine. None of them did. Maybe they should have. I don't know. I am not a batting coach. Guys, what did we miss? What do we misunderstand? Do me a favor, if you would, head over to the Tesla Life. Subscribe over there. Him and Patrick and Casey are gaining subscribers every day. Maybe not today, but most days. It's not, you can't gain every day.
Yeah, otherwise you got to have one flat day. You just can't do it all the time. Yeah.
Yes. Even God rested on the seventh day. You think you're better than God? Leave that in the comments below. We would like to know, because that definitely isn't controversial at all. In the play that I shall be in coming up, my script, I think, might be in the car. We were talking about costume choices, and the director said, nothing with, logos or writing on it. And I said, well, I have a t-shirt of Muhammad. I don't have that. But the answer was no, don't get one. So, all right. With that said, stay tuned, stay juicy, and I cannot wait to hear from you, clever robots, on the next one. Subscribe if you made it this far. I think it's required.